Hey, what's good, people, man? The Health and Wellness Dread, aka the Platinum Bearded Dread. You already know the deal already, man. Let's talk about the 9 to 5. You know what I mean? The JOB, whatever you want to call it, the 9 to 5. I don't know how many of us really give that some thought in terms of the damage it's doing to us on a daily basis. Now, when I say 9 to 5, I'm not talking about if you're doing something that you love, but the vast majority of us, if you ask them, would you be doing this job if you didn't have to, would say outright no. And as I'm talking to myself. You know what I mean? I'm not in any way preaching. This is for me first and foremost. I mean, you consider it, right? We go to a place that we don't like, and for the most part, we don't really like the people there. We don't like what we're doing, and we get up super early to get there. Now that takes a lot of grit and a lot of staying power, man. It really does. So the first thing, don't feel like you're complaining, or don't make that, because at the end of the day, that's not the natural way of human beings. We're supposed to be much more free in what we're doing, and ultimately we're supposed to enjoy what we're doing. So don't make the mistake of thinking there's something wrong with you, or that you're lazy, or that you're this, because it's a very unnatural thing to do. But what's really, really sad about this is the fact that we go into a job, I don't know how many hours a day away from our homes and our families, and life is going on, and we're not being a part of that life, particularly our children. They're growing, and we're missing so much. We get a little weekend or a little holiday break, but in the big scheme of things, there's nothing. And time is just passing. I remember watching my parents. I remember watching my mum. At the time she had a cleaning job. She'd get up and leave the house around 4:30 a.m. into that cold, into the fog. Just her one waiting for the bus. And it went on and on and on. And when she finally had to retire, those unsociable hours had affected her memory. And so she developed Alzheimer's as she got older. And one of the biggest reasons for that was those unnatural hours that messed up her body clock, because she couldn't sleep when she stopped. I remember my dad, when he used to work security, really enjoyed his job, putting all the work in, and then when he retired, like most elderly people, they just had to depend on the system. But the reason why I mention that is because I watched that happen in real time. But they had no time to enjoy the latter years that they're supposed to be enjoying. And then we're going through the same process now. We're going through this 9 to 5, back and forth, Monday to Friday, how many hours a day we're working, being taken away from our families. And then before we know it, we look back and we realize the time's gone. And now that the time's gone, not only can you not get it back, but it's weakened you and broken you down to a degree whereby the last years where you're supposed to enjoy it, you don't have the energy to do it, and you've lost the time at the same time. And somewhere along the line, that has to be broken, because then we're going to watch our children do the same thing, go through the same cycle, and then they repeat it, and then their children repeat it. That is tantamount to slavery, and it definitely is. There's no difference to going to the plantation and going to work. But like I said, this is for those not for those who love their work. So what am I saying here? Am I saying just leave work? Well, that's unrealistic, because I'm still working as we speak, not for long though. But what I am saying though is that we have to carve out a way whereby we can realistically do what we have to do to pay the bills, etc. But have our own plan, our own focus. It's like breaking out of prison. Imagine if you're in prison and you get the warden walking by your cell all the time, and you say to your inmate, I need to break out, I have to escape, man. And the inmate says to you, what do you mean? You're going to get caught, they'll bring you back, they'll add an extra sentence to your life, blah, 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 to a year, etc., to a sentence, let's say. And because he's so doubtful, he decides to stay there. But you say, no, I'm breaking out. And so what you do, you stay there, but you slowly, this is just imaginary now. You make a hole in the corner of your cell. Like I said, this is hypothetically. And every day, you dig that hole, you dig that hole, you dig that hole, until you're ready to go through the hole and get out. You don't leave until that hole is big enough. Now, what I'm saying here in relation to work is that have whatever it is that you need to do, whatever your goal is. If you're getting up at 7 o'clock for work, get up an hour earlier if you can, or 2 even. Or on the flip side, when you get back from work, 6, 7, whatever the time is, put an hour in. Always put an hour or so in on the thing that you want to do. Don't go to work giving your whole energy, coming back to work from work, slumping out on the chair, and then watching Netflix and stuff like that. Because what they're doing is robbing you, and you can't see what's going on. So snatch an hour or 2 from the morning half or the evening half daily, where you're working solely on what your dream is, building it up, whatever that is. And obviously on the weekend, commit more hours to it. So that way you don't have to pull out of your 9 to 5 and be left with nothing. But continuously watering your seed, if you like, while you're doing the dreaded 9 to 5. And it will make you feel better, because then you won't feel like everything is being given to your day job. I'm gonna say another thing as well. It's controversial, but when you're at work, only give it the bare minimum. Don't be one of those people who put everything into their job because they want to get a raise or because they want to be seen to be. Nah, man. Give it your bare minimum where you can keep the job going, so that way you've got more energy for your children and for your dreams for when you get back. Let's not let this damn 9 to 5 rob us anymore of the years that we've seen our parents get robbed of. And let's instill in our children another way whereby they can be the free one. Even if we lost a lot of our time doing this thing, 9 to 5, our children don't have to repeat the same cycle. Show them that whatever you're doing, make sure you have a little seed that you water in terms of what you want to do. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, man. Maybe you've already done it. Maybe you've already escaped the 9 to 5. I'd love to read how you did it. Because by the time I make a part 2 to this, I'll be long gone from the 9 to 5 and earning for my... Anyway, I won't go into too much for now. So write down your comments. I'll read them all and I'll always respond. Oh, don't forget, like, subscribe and all that good stuff. And we can do this again. It's the Health and Wellness Trade, aka Platinum Bearded Dread. Signing off. Yeah, man.